We are on the streets of Wentworth here, where throngs of people have come out from the community, really calling for government to simply do more in the community of Wentworth, saying Wentworth lives matter. What we've seen so far is caskets. We've also seen the people taking to the streets with coffins, indicating the gang violence that continues here in the community. And they are simply calling for more to be done. But to speak to us more on this initiative, I am joined by Darian. Darian, thanks so much for talking to us. We know that there are several other protests happening throughout the country, but when we look at gang violence, we're talking about violence in not only Wentworth, but in the Western Cape as well as Gauteng. Talk to us about the initiative here in Durban.
So what we're wanting to do is to build better partnerships, better relationships with that of the entities that exist, as well as with the community. The problem right now that we're having, there's not enough resources for our police stations to be able to do their work effectively. We are saying to government, you need to step up, you need to come to the party and do so much more than what you're doing right now. How many lives must be lost on the street before people take notice? And of course, it's not just Wentworth, it's happening across the country. But how many children must be buried in this community before anybody takes notice? We've got children that cannot even go to school without the fear of being shot. We have mothers in our homes that are fearful every time their child goes to school if they're even going to return. We are a community. You see, Wentworth, despite what anybody says, we are a resilient, strong community, but we need to be having partnerships with government, and government really and truly needs to come to the party. If we can spend billions and millions on parties and inaugurations and in all of this, can you not just send 5 police vans here? Can you not send more police officers, especially with the rates of violence that's existing within this community? Not just shootings, but rape, domestic violence, gender-based violence. Is a range of things that are going on, and it's about time that government comes to the party. We as a community are also saying we're willing to come to the party. We want to work with SABC and every other entity that exists, but we need to start building trust. We need to start building bridges, and that's the only way we can start making a difference and a change in our community.
Yes. Where we started now was the police station, and I want to touch on this. You say that not enough is being done. Are you talking about the manpower on the ground?
We're talking about all resources. We're talking about manpower. We're talking about corrupt officials that need to get out of the station. We are so sick and tired of SABC playing the blame game with our community. Leakings of files, of dockets going missing. Hearing that there's only one van to patrol. Hearing that there's no resources at the station. We are tired. We are tired of beating our children. We are tired of innocent people getting hurt on the streets. We are tired of that our children can't even sit in classrooms and not hear the ringing of gunshots on our streets. Our children can't focus on school. They can't get what needs to be done. And we're saying to government that we want a plan. We want a plan for Wentworth. We want a plan that is going to work and that is feasible, not just on paper, but we want the resources on the ground.
Now, I was here just about a week ago when there was a shooting, and some of the community members are saying that this happens on a daily basis. For those that are watching back at home, give us your lived reality on the ground.
I stay in one of the most violent areas in Wentworth. That's the Lansdowne, known as the former barracks. We have this morning, noon and night. I was woken up 1 a.m. in the morning by the ringing of gunshots going off, and seeing on WhatsApp groups that people have to jump off their beds and lay onto the floors just for safety reasons. And we're saying, where is SABC right now? Where is SABC when people are calling? Half the time the station doesn't even have a landline to get through to. We've got to call our officials on their personal numbers, which is not fair to us as a community. Knowing that this happens on a daily basis, by now we should have seen a plan of action. The Premier on the last shooting said that there were Wentworth must feel the might of the law. But we haven't seen that as people. We haven't seen that. But we're also asking for an integrated approach from government, because most of these shootings and stuff take place in human settlements flats, which are governed by the city. But the city is not coming to the part to say, let's have an integrated approach to this violence that we're facing here. And let's also hold those accountable, responsible, that need to be held accountable.
So as we see the protests happening throughout the country, and here in Durban, Coloured Lives Matter, Wentworth Lives Matter, for those that are watching back at home, because you have been saying these strong messages to government officials, what would you say to them?
we say we want to hold hands. At the end of the day, it needs to be a symbiotic relationship where it's not just, and I'll say this, a tongue-in-cheek comment, it's not just the role of government, but here with this protest, with this march, with this gathering, we're saying we want to be a part of the solution.
Yeah.
Don't exclude us as a community from trying to make things better. Don't exclude us from being part of the program, the project designs, and the things that you want to do with us. Let us do it together. Let's hold hands. And maybe that's the only time that we're able to change the things that's going on around us.